Hello everyone, it's Kavita from Red Door Yoga. Thank you for joining me online again for the Red Door Yoga Mini Sutra series. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about Maya. The word Maya in yoga means illusion. And the Maya that's being referred to is everything that you can see around you, including yourself. That the Maya or the illusion is the fact that everything seems to be different from one another. This tree, these leaves, appear to be different from my skin and my body. It appears to be different from the garden box that's, behind me, or the rock that's in front of me. And so, when I look around and these things have these various characteristics, I place them in categories. For example, I might say that the rock is inanimate and I am animate. Okay? I might say that this tree is living, but the rock is not. And in this categorization, I may develop an idea of value between myself, this tree, this rock, the garden box, etc. Basically, I am falling into the illusory trap where I am not seeing the essence of the world around me. I am seeing the category into which I have placed it. This becomes problematic because it blinds me from the truth of my oneness with everything else. It also blinds me to the value in my interaction with the world. There was something my father said to me many, many years ago. My father, for those of you who are not aware, my father's a yogi and he's my mentor, my teacher. He has been my entire life. And I remember years ago he said to me, when you can look at a chair and not see it for what it can do for you, then you know you're getting somewhere. So in the midst of the illusions of our categorizations, our tendency is to value things according to A, how similar are they to us? As a result, we will value an animal, let's say, for the most part, more than we might value a rock. We might value the dog more than, let's say, we value a lizard, okay, or an ant, because the dog is a mammal. It is closer to us in likeliness, or likeness, I should say, as opposed to an ant. An ant is less like me, and therefore it is easier for me to value the ant less than I value the dog. Also, as my father pointed out, we don't just look at how much alike they are to us, we look as well at what they can apparently do for us. So most of us, in certain cultures it would be different, but most of us wouldn't eat the dog. But we would eat, let's say, the pig. And there is actually no real difference at all here, except for the fact that in a lot of cultures we have dogs as pets, and so we see that dogs give us something emotionally that we may not necessarily recognize as easily or as readily when we talk about a pig. So we see the dog as having a higher hierarchy, a higher value to us than we see the pig as having. Okay. It all boils down to ego, but this is an illusion that we kind of fold ourselves into. When we look at things around us, we place them in categories, and then we start to value them and pay attention to them differently based on those categories. In Zen, there is something that is very much along these lines, where the focus is to remove categorization. Okay? And part of what helps you to remove categorizations are koans, they're called. And I remember when I was at university, one of my professors, Professor Hospital was his name, Professor Hospital was teaching about Buddhism, and it was the first time I'd ever actually heard a koan. And this koan went like this. You have this baby duckling, and you have a bottle, and you put the baby duckling into the bottle, and then over time, the duckling grows up into a duck. The question is, how do you remove the duck from the bottle without harming the duck or breaking the bottle? I'll give you a moment to think about that. Now remember, the idea in koans is to teach you philosophy and to get your mind to think outside of the box, think outside of the categorizations that it tends to envelop itself into. And so the answer to this koan is actually inside the bottle or outside the bottle, there is no difference. Most people go about trying to find a way to, maybe oil the duck or something and slip it out or what have you. But the idea is to actually to get you to stop differentiating between one way of being and another way of being, inside or outside. It's the same. So it's to break the mind away from this categorization. Right? So, I have a little bit of a challenge for you, homework-wise, to see if you could go through your daily life and start to remove even small pieces of your categorization. See where you're putting them. See how you're actually differentiating one thing from the other, and then creating values where you'll pay more attention or less attention to things based on how similar it is to you or how useful you think it is to you, to your personal ego. All right. I hope this was helpful, everyone. And, if you're enjoying the video, please do like it. Please do share it. We're always happy to expand the community, the Red Door Yoga community that we're talking to about yoga philosophy. And if you're on YouTube and you're finding us there, you can click or rather ding the bell at the top and subscribe to the Red Door Yoga YouTube channel, where we'll be posting future mini sutra videos as well. Thank you for joining us, everyone. And I'll see you again online very soon. Namaste.